Hello and welcome back to What's the Damage, streaming live from my brand new kitchen. Check it out. Um, companion show to the incredibly well-known and popular real play D&D show, Roll for Damage. Sorry, I'm a little bit. It's so hot right here where I am right now. I apologize in advance. I'm gonna be very distracted all day. So, back on topic, we had some chills and also thrills last Friday when our shields came face to face with more exploding zombies and a brain in a jar. Gross. They also discovered a dastardly plot involving the villain of Dobby's past and also Perry's hometown of Riverrun. It's all coming together. Today, me and my guests will be discussing that and also the gentle art of the one shot. All of that coming right now. As always, stick around after the stream for links and resources to support the ongoing fight for racial justice in the United States. I'm your host, Truth Venson, and this is What's the Damage? And we're back. Okay, correction, I misspoke. It's actually Oriana's hometown, not Perry's. Almost gave you some big spoilers by accident. Just forget I said anything. So joining me today is Caleel, who plays Baltaim on the stream, and Chad, who plays Quinn. How are you doing, guys?
I'm all right. How
Yeah.
are you?
Very hot, as mentioned before.
I feel that.
Yeah, I mean, like in general, but also physically.
I feel
Anyway, what's the damage, guys? You guys fought a brain in a jar.
I hate that brain.
They fought a brain in a jar.
I didn't fight a brain in a jar at all. I did not at all engage combat with that fucking brain.
You fought paralyzation, yeah.
And lost. I was so close to the effect just fucking timing out on me.
Oh man.
By the time I actually saved. And then again, I'm like, well, I'm going to go to forever sleep now.
Yeah.
Gonna take a nap, guys. Goodbye forever.
I was fucking around with this weird whaling thing, you know?
Right,
that guy.
Weird thing. I mean, was that the one with like the sorry, described as having like a weird face, right?
Yeah, like the elongated.
Yeah, the second she described that, I was like, oh, is that Mr. Face from like Amnesia? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
That's what I went to immediately.
It's the Scream.
That too. Okay, anyway, so you guys went into that battle with at least one level of exhaustion each. So yeah, so you managed to kick ass anyway. But tell me a bit about that. Just like you got heat stroke, you're trying to kill zombies.
I mean, I can't really speak to much of it because I spent a lot of it just be like, oh, look at all the interesting stuff I'm not doing.
Like just watching my friends.
Pretty much.
It's great.
It wasn't too bad. I think Dolly probably had the worst.
Yeah, he had 2 levels of exhaustion.
Yeah, he had 2 levels, so he was just kind of moving like at half speed.
Yeah.
But like there was a time where I was like, I'm gonna do this thing, and she's like, roll his check. I was like, all right, oh fuck me. Like I like roll. I'm like throwing the rock. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna throw this rock. It's it's a rock to throw, and it's like, oh yeah, wait, disadvantage, not one. All right, yep, all right.
That
That's
seems right. That seems correct.
Yeah, that's about right.
But it wasn't too bad. Like in the fight, it was more of just the like, oh, I forget this is happening to me, and I'm like, oh well, this should be a normal like, oh yeah, we'll just do this, and it's like, oh wait, we're doing
It's like,
rocks.
no, it's harder than normal.
Yeah, but it wasn't too bad.
Yeah, nobody really, nobody went down hard this time.
That's true.
Yeah. Okay, so for Baltaim, this kind of thing, like fighting the undead, is kind of right in his wheelhouse. So how confident was he personally going into this fight, knowing that he was going to be fighting zombies? I assume he didn't expect the brain in the jar, but
This is not he's had the one encounter with the undead so far before this, and he got his ass handed to him in honesty. So he is not he is wanting to see how he can stack up against going against undead, because it seems like it's going to be a recurring theme. So he was looking forward to seeing how he's improved from being basically his ass beaten and left there because they're like, you're not even that important to us, guy. Like, fuck you. Like, you're good.
Damn, ouch.
And so he's just like, he is more interested in trying to see what happens and to get accumulated to fighting them, but he's not necessarily an expert at any points of the mean. He's very much walking this blindly.
Yeah. Even so, this was kind of like a bit of a big day for Ball. You got a cool new item.
Yeah.
Yeah, a very cool new item. So would now be like a good time to kind of wade into Ball's backstory a little bit and his connection to the Raven Queen?
It might come up very soon. I assume people are gonna have more questions about. I know he kind of dropped it on like last minute, but no one's really asked him necessarily like what he has, like what's been going on with him. He's like, there was undead last time he's dealt with these people, and he's expecting this place to be abandoned, which I mean technically it is, but they left some fun behind. Yeah.
I mean,
it might come up soon. It might not be as interesting to say, or it might be more interesting than someone would think. But he's not lied so far. I would say he's not lied to anyone so far.
Just omitted or not mentioned stuff,
right.
Which what, fair. Nobody's asked.
Yeah.
Okay, so Chad, Quinn spent a lot of the fight as just a spectator, like
pretty much.
Was he just like standing there simmering? Was he afraid for his friends? Was he just really frustrated not to be able to do anything?
I mean, the player was frustrated with just not being able to do anything because I had, crap I specifically can do to jack up the undead, which I was hoping to try and do a little bit of. And by the time I got into a place where I could, I was like, oh, these people are almost dying, and I'm actually able to do stuff now. You stop dying. You also stop dying. Well, I have another headache now. Here I am. I think
debilitating migraine.
That's what I think I was going to do. I think for Quinn, because of the description of what it was, I don't know exactly how much he parsed of what was going on, other than just the worst migraine.
Right.
Like one that's basically just going to make reality sort of a problem for later. So
Okay, so I know I'm just kind of hung up on the brain in the jar. Like that's so weird.
Yeah.
So have either of your characters come across anything like this, or were you also kind of shocked just to see a weird undead brain?
Yeah,
no, this is new waters.
Totally unexplored situation of brain in jar. I didn't think, Quinn didn't think brains could go in jars, and yet.
Right, and then especially not think they could just, all right, everyone here. All right, you guys are just stay still right there.
Yeah. Hey, all of you,
take a
stop
nap, guys.
We got some Excedrin packed in your packs. You're not moving for a little bit.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah. So whoever was doing all this weird shit with the undead, like, they did leave quite a bit of interesting stuff behind. So the plot has thickened now to the consistency of like a congealed stew. So how is everybody feeling about the exploding people plot? It's very gross, but also
Yes.
scary.
I mean, as a player, I'm here for this shit. As a character, I'm.
Oh no.
Quinn is like, no, people should not be bombs. This is a bad thing. Please don't. I don't support this. Negative 10 out of 10. Would not recommend.
Quinn is anti.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm also here for this as a player. I'm like, oh, that's fucking sick and metal as hell. I'm for it.
Yeah.
Metal
as fuck.
Baltim's like, he's almost terrified to ask Quinn or anyone with any medical experience if like the people who are in there, because he's like, I don't even want to know that my sister is one of these bodies. He's like, I don't even. He is just at this point. He's like, no. I think this is, there's experiments. I think they're trying to perfect it. I think he thinks this is something he's going to find her, and if she is one of them people in there, the idea of just like finding her, I think he thinks is just better for the sake of just the world at large right now at this point, because they're doing some wild shit right now. But he's not necessarily down with the metal as I
am. Yeah. So does Baltime currently believe that his sister is alive, or does he just not know?
I think he doesn't. Well, he doesn't know at all. I think he believes he has, the faith that she is, and he, naively or not, might believe that or not. But he, I think that is what is necessarily driving him to further himself to even like just accomplish anything, because and if she's not, that's something he's got to process, obviously. But I think right now, currently, he believes, even if it's true or not, that she is alive.
Right. Well, hopefully she shows up later in the game. Okay, so for your party, what do you think the next move is? Like, are you going to continue on your current errand, or does the situation in River Run seem more urgent because these bombs are like in transit to the city?
I mean, I think that's like the next stop after we finish the thing that we're on, as far as I would think, because if we try going there first, I'm pretty sure that Lex will shoot us all in the face several times and be like, no, you go do the thing I told you to do.
But if we get there then you come back without her knowing and then go back.
I mean, yeah, that's a possibility.
Because there's also we'll probably get shot though.
No, we'd probably get shot either way. If we go early and she doesn't find out, she'll eventually find out, because apparently finding out is just a thing she does. And then
also we'll be the idiots that like, hey Lex, we have a problem. And she's like, is that fucking Riverman? Where the fuck are you guys?
She's like, why the fuck are you there?
You fucking sons of bitches.
Ooh, call you later.
I'm going
bye, Lex. You're breaking up. Bye.
I'm sorry, I'm going through a tunnel. I can't.
Okay. I think Baltime is. I think he probably wants this to be the next thing on our trip. I think he is more inclined to do the Reverend thing a little bit more, because I think it directly relates a little bit probably more. But I think he understands that like we can't keep walking around with like fucking mark darkness on us and like bullshit happening to us the whole time. And then we're also like right here, so it's also out of the way to even try to do that right now. It's like we're like on this continent doing this on this continent is a little bit simpler path.
True. Remind me how far away you are right now. Where you need to be.
From where we need to be, like a couple of weeks, I think.
Weeks.
Yeah. From
3
River
to 4
End,
weeks, maybe.
like very, very,
Months,
very.
right?
Like
not from River End, from your next stop.
Yeah, from next stop, I think it's like
I think it's like a couple
of weeks.
Yeah, weeks, like 2 to 4 weeks or something like that.
Yeah.
What can happen in a couple weeks?
Yeah, it's true.
Especially considering we have to spend a lot of going through the desert.
Yeah, going through the desert to go all the way. If they are going, walking, I don't know if they're, if they're carrying by ship, probably a little bit less, but still probably a month or so. So it's probably we're on that timetable. We're definitely on like a strict we need to pop this off. But yeah.
Crunch time. So going forward, like travel, because you're gonna have to travel further in the desert, obviously, to get to the next place you need to be to River Darkness. So is Quinn finally gonna cave and just take off his fucking armor?
No.
No.
He's entirely too squishy without it. I mean, I have a nice healthy armor class between the fancy armor and shield. And I'm eyeballing a fancier shield and a shop back in town, and we got some money now, so I made like.
Oh right, you got 500 gold, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
So I'm enjoying the AC because without it, I'm still a puny cleric as far as hit points go. So I'm gonna just roast.
Yeah.
Nicely slow cooked Quinn.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. What was I going to ask? I had something else. I think I forgot to write it down. I'll think of it later. Okay. So in that case, I think we're going to move on because my brain's just going. I think we're going to move on to our topic for the day, which is the proud, wonderful tradition of one-shots, which are little, mini, tiny, bite-sized D&D campaigns. They're very fun. So have both of you either played or run a one-shot before? I assume so, but I want to ask.
Yeah, I actually, when I was first getting into D&D, I basically just popped in on like Adventurers League things, which are essentially just nothing but a bunch of one-shots unless you show up every week. Which a lot of people don't really do. So it's basically nothing but one-shots.
Yeah, I've ran and played in some one-shots before, yeah. Nice.
Okay, so you both got a bit of experience. What would you say the number one difference, and you can't say it's short, is between a one-shot and a longer running campaign?
I mean, I think one of the main differences is consequences and the lack thereof. Like you can make the dumbest
that in a nicer way. Yeah, that's a good way of saying that. Yeah.
I mean, you can make like the dumbest choice in a one shot, and you have to worry about a few games down the line, somebody's family who has sworn vengeance upon you for accidentally blowing up their house.
Oh, but that's the best part of D&D, making enemies.
Remember how I accidentally murdered that entire family reunion? Well, I missed one, and they mad.
They big mad.
Yeah, if you die in a one shot, it's like, all right, this is fun. I died in a one shot. It's all right, I didn't really, you might spend like some time, but I didn't really spend a lot of time, fleshing this character out. You die in like a real campaign, you're like, this kind of hurts my soul.
Yeah, we were talking about that last week.
You kind of, it's a one shot. I feel like one shots are more like the looser environment. There's like a less, even if they are like more like darker or serious. There's this lesser serious. Like I'm not sticking to this like for months. I'm gonna be like we're trying this crazy. I might try this crazy thing and then like doesn't work. It's gone. If it does, I'm like I might pick this in something else. Later on.
Right. And one thing that's really interesting about one shots is kind of the freedom it gives you for the subject matter you can use for sessions, because you can go ridiculous and goofy on something. And you don't have to maintain that vibe for any longer than about 2 to 4 hours.
Right.
Or you can go dark tortured and super fucked up and weird. And no, you don't have to maintain that vibe for more than 2 to 4 hours. You know, it's like you pick one direction and you go that way, knowing there's a finite end.
Yeah. The way I think of one-shots is always that one quote from Magic School Bus: take chances, make mistakes, get messy, because you absolutely have the freedom to do that.
Yes.
No consequences. So with that in mind, when you're creating a character for a one-shot, is the process like a bit looser than it would be for a campaign? Do you get weird and wacky? Do you see this like an opportunity to try out weird shit?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I just like honestly, I do like the stupidest things. I can't do Australian voice at all. I've definitely had a character that was Australian.
What was
Don't know why.
What was the Australian equivalent that you tried? Now I feel
Yeah.
like we have to know this.
It was like
Yeah,
this. I was like talking like this, and that guy had guns, and he just and it's most like that. It wasn't good at all. It was not.
That sounds vaguely Eastern European.
Yeah,
to me.
a little, yeah.
Definitely, it's like it's probably not Australian at all. Yep.
It sounds like someone from Romania trying to pass themselves off as Australian.
I'm sorry for all my Australian viewers out there. I'm not trying to offend you. I'm acknowledging that it's not good.
We mean no offense. We already did the accents episode. That is when we meant offense.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was I just like just wild kooky things. Like I had guns. Like a lot of people don't like guns. Keep your guns on my fantasy game.
I'm surprised you didn't have a knife.
I think I did have a dagger, but I never used it. Yeah.
So you never got to say once that's not enough.
I never got to say
that's
so completely un-Australian.
I'm hurt.
Yep.
This makes me sad.
I think I was like a warlock fight. Like it was just crazy. It's like everything was like weird. It was just it was weird. I would just
Yeah. I kind of like to use them just as a chance to experiment with a thing that I haven't done before, like just basically pick a class I haven't tooled around with, because normally if you're doing a one shot, you're doing it with enough levels that you kind of get a feel for the character, you jump in at level 5, 6, 10, whatever. And then, you just roll something up that you've never done before and just say, okay, well, I'm going to just figure this shit out as I go. And then if you like it, you can go back and actually put the work in later on and try and figure it out for serious. Mm-hmm. It's a nice spaghetti test. Just throw everything against the wall. That thing's stuck. I'm gonna take that.
Yeah, that's a good way to think about it. So Caleel, was the Australian the weirdest character you've made for a one shot, or can you do better?
Weirdest?
Mm-hmm. Or just the most out there?
I mean, I don't know. I've done super like edgy characters. Like you don't ever get to be like. I do like meme characters. I just like meme a lot. I like sometimes like I'll play like a rogue. I'm like he's like this is the rogue. Like everyone talks about like how you're like I work in the darkness. Like I've played like I've done that before. I've done like evil characters. Like they're not like it's not weird, but it's like normally I don't get to play a lot of evil characters in normal games. I play like they're not necessarily against the party, but they're like, no, I will kill that person. No, I will definitely like burn this orphanage down to get what we need. Like, yeah, what's up? Like, I've done like a lot of like experimenting things. Not like necessarily, I guess, like super like weird, like like tabaxi, like I don't even know, like sorcerer, wizard, cleric or something like that. I don't know like anything like super weird, but like I just done like experiments of like testing out things and like again like Chad said, trying to get to that like thing or something like this is like a character that's super extreme. I definitely couldn't use it in the game, but like I could see elements of this being used in like another character or like fixing this down, lessening all the rough edges and like making an actual character out of it.
Got you. Chad, have you done anything super wacky, or do you just want to tell us about your favorite character that you've made for a one shot?
I'm trying to remember if I've done anything that was super nuts and wacky, but not really.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing that I remember from like one that I did before was I basically just I showed up to something. I did not have a character, so I was just handed a sheet, and it was dumb human fighter, and with like no background. So I just try to think, what can I do with this? Okay, Oliver Queen before the boating accident, and he was just like an entitled
Oh
fuck,
no.
and he was not pleasant, but. I got into this weird thing with another one of the characters that was there. Like the only time the both of us could roll well was when we were having interpersonal conversations about shit that was going on with those characters. And like, I remember there was a shopkeep that the other character ran into, and he was super into said shopkeep. And like the only way that I was able to roll well was like, I'm just saying, give love a chance. And I hit him with the axe.
Amazing. Do you work out between them?
I don't know.
Are they married now?
Headcanon, I'd like to think so. I would like to think that my, douchebag nobleman with a gigantic axe did help to, fan the flames of true love.
Love is real. Okay, so have you both run one shots or just Chad?
I've run one shots before.
Cool beans. Okay, so okay, so both of you have. So as for like running a one shot, just how on earth do you keep the timetable? Like, how do you keep it on schedule so that it's only like maximum 5-hour game?
I mean, the one thing that I've done is, and this is actually, I've got a one shot that I'm going to be doing at some point in the future because a friend wants to introduce a friend to D&D, and I'm basically literally just lifting a session of a home game that I ran because I remember that thing was able to conclude in about 4 to 5 hours with like just the amount of stuff that is in it. So I just essentially by accidentally playtesting it and then just riffing like, yeah, I can change crap about that. I'm just going to lift out the good stuff.
It's going to work by itself.
Yeah.
Yeah. I take the philosophy of like, it's okay if everything is not seen in this one shot. Like, they don't have to see everything in one shot. It's like, it'd be, obviously I think probably for me, I make a lot of stuff in the one shot, and it probably would actually probably be a two shot. But like if they're like they're not getting something, or they're not like this is something that necessarily is they not following a path, like it's like okay, they don't have to like they don't see the dragon layer. That sucks, but like hey, if they saw the other stuff in there, there's if you have the mindset of everything, as long as like your important beats are like you have 3 or 4 important beats that you hit, if 3 of them are seen, not the 4th one, it's okay. It's probably again that's still a good one shot, but like not everything has to be seen, because that's going to make it longer, because some people take longer to figure out like puzzles, or like how some people are not built for combat, so the combat takes a little bit longer. So if everything's not seen, I feel like that's okay, as long as the just of what you want to see like put onto like that world was seen. That's a good experience, I think.
Nice. So for running a one shot, does that usually involve a little bit more like ferrying the characters along than you would normally for like a longer running game, because you do have to end at the end point?
Yeah. There can be a little bit more railroading involved, and that's just because by the nature of the thing is you are not putting people in a sandbox. You are putting people at the beginning of a platforming game, and their job is to get from A to B and, just find a way to overcome all the shit between those 2 points.
Yeah.
So you leave a little bit of room for exploring, like, what is that thing over there? I don't know, go fucking look at it.
Okay,
and you don't say you can't see it, there's nothing there, there is only
don't look
a wall.
at that. No. Then they spend 20 minutes like doing insight checks on the wall.
Okay, but this wall, like this brick in this wall, there's something about it, right? Like tell me, like, and then at some point you're just like, all right, there's like
the
fucking 2 gold at the wall.
Yeah.
The wall's a mimic. It just ain't your face. Roll a new character. I'll get back to you in 5 minutes.
Yeah, there's definitely more walls for sure. There's more, like there has to be more, concrete wall, because if you don't, it's literally, this is gonna take 7 hours now. You do have to like push them, like, all right, guys, like this room, the door is closing in this room, like the one that you came from is closed, and now the room's getting smaller, and now
it's
you
like,
need to go to the other one.
There's spikes coming towards you.
So like you gotta push them along, because like we're on like I don't want this to take all of your whole night, if we're playing for like 3 hours or 4 hours, but you can't just sit here and like inspect the chair and the couch and the ottoman and the treasure chests and all like everything in this one room, and there's like 17 other rooms, or like there's 10 other rooms that you got to go and like look at.
Yeah, there's actually something that is a really good way to try to keep things moving is you use the logic of the 80s to 90s era action movie, where if the characters are in a place for too long, oh no, minions have showed up.
Right.
That's fun.
Kobolds with spears.
Basically
suddenly
you just
goblins.
you use Die Hard logic. Well, John McClane has spent too much time in this room without punching something. Oh, there's Hans Gruber's men again.
Yeah.
There's a punching quota that you have to meet every 10 minutes or so.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So how do you approach like just homebrewing a one shot? Obviously it's a bit different than designing a longer running campaign. Do you just like condense everything? Do you have like a single scene that you build it around, or like Caleel was saying, several different like beats that you want to hit?
I mean, I've done it as what is the thing that is the game over? Like, what is your objective? Figure out what ends this scenario, and then you just basically build beats back from that. It's a thing where you kind of have to start with the end to make sure that people will get there. And then you figure out how much crap can you put between the beginning and the end that will make it take not incredibly long.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. It's like, I think it's the reverse of like building a long campaign. Like you have like a loose idea of like, this would be a cool ending, but like a campaign, that ending can literally always shift, because that villain that's your bad guy might be like at level 10 or 12. They're like, all right, we got rid of this guy. Like, he's done. So you're like, that's not like a good ending, I feel. So that ending can shift and be ever morphing in like a campaign. But on one shot, you're like, all right, this is my end. I want them to fight the red ancient dragon and the top of the mountain and using the sword they found in such and such. So you're kind of like, well, okay. Well, now I need to work backwards. Where did they start at? They're in a town. Someone needs to kill a dragon. All right, cool. You got your beginning, your end. So like, what do I need to get A to B? And then like, the sword needs to be somewhere in the middle they can find. And so then you kind of piece that out a little bit better with what you have to go with. And it's sometimes it can be easier or harder. It depends on like, what the necessarily one shot is. But if it's like, simple, we're killing this thing, you can kind of see where the pieces kind of fall in line and go to lead up. And if it's too long, you just like, well, I'll just take that part out. That doesn't need to be in there. If it's too short, you can like at the back end.
Yeah, there's a lot of editing that you can do with something like that. You feel like you're getting overzealous and putting in too many beats, just start sacrificing a few things. Like, well, they really don't need to talk to that person. They don't really add anything.
Does the blacksmith need to tell them that, hey, there's a dragon here for the 17th time? You can take that, that
right
out.
Yeah, the blacksmith unexpectedly has a heart attack while you're talking to him. Whoops, can't talk to him anymore.
Right, everyone start dying. So I don't know what you guys doing. You better.
Suddenly goblins come. Anyway. So are there any good like pre-made modules for one shots? We talked about modules before in the past.
I mean, yeah, I think so. It just depends on how quickly you can do some of them. Like, actually, like just specifically in Tales from the Yawning Portal, the first adventure in the book is actually about the right length that you could do it as a one shot, because it's doesn't have a whole lot of maps. It's not really a thing that would take terribly long necessarily, depending on how quickly your characters explore. And also the last one in the book, the Tomb of Horrors, also would be a pretty good one shot, because all right, your goal is get to the end of the tomb, and then get out. If you can't make it, just come with a stack of about 5 level 20 characters, and we'll see how far you get.
Right.
Well, the new character just like pops out of the wall when the old one dies. Like, hi, I'm here now.
I'm here. I've come to save you guys.
Oh wait.
Kind of, sort of. You run it sort of like a supervillain death trap scenario at that point, where it's like, I'm trying to think of a villain that more people would know, but I literally can't. The X-Men villain Arcade, who did nothing but build elaborate game-based death traps for people to go into and then fight their way out of. And that's the sort of thing where, one character dead. All right, well, another one comes falling out of the sky and lands in front of yeah, pretty much. You have an omnipotent enemy that can just be like, snap his fingers. Another guy lands right there. Like, all right, there's your new friend. And go.
I've not played any of the module one shots, so I can't. I don't know. I've heard the Tales Yannick Portals. Some of them are good. I've heard some of them not as good. But I haven't played any of the module ones. I assume they're decent or enough because just the modules themselves in D&D are good. Some of them not as good, but most of them pretty decent.
Yeah, I haven't played any of them as one shots, but I've looked them over enough times to figure out whether or not it would be feasible, just because of the amount of space that people have to cover.
Yeah, I think Wizards of the Coast also makes little mini modules that are meant to be one shots too.
Yeah,
a few, yeah, and also DM's Guild has a ton of them that are just designed for that. You bored, you need something to do. Here, pay what you want for X.
I just lied on camera. I've played Death House, so that's not true. I lied. Death House.
Death
House
can be a bitch.
Death House can be
that's illegal. That's illegal, guys.
That's not true. I've played Death House before. So yeah, Death House can be like a one shot kind of.
Yeah.
It depends. If you have to do everything, maybe it's probably 2 shots, but it's concise enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It can be. But as far as while we're talking about things that would be interesting in one shots, I would love to play in a D&D version of basically Die Hard, where you're all essentially John McClane, and your goal is to kill Hans Gruber and save the people that are at the fantasy company Christmas party. It would be a fun way to spend Christmas.
That's a Christmas movie.
Yeah, absolutely it is. Fight
Fantasy
me on it,
Christmas.
anybody.
Fantasy Christmas.
Candle nights.
Candle nights. Candle nights bloodbath. Anyway. Anyway, so you've only ever run homebrewed one shots is what I'm getting?
Pretty much.
Yeah. So are one shots easy enough to homebrew that you might as well? Is
kind
it
of.
Worth?
Yeah.
I the way I figure it is, you're in more control if you're just making all the shit up as you go.
Right.
And plus, if you have made up what the end goal is and you can think on your feet really well, you barely have to do all that much prep. Okay, I want to go in that direction. What's in that direction?
Goblins.
Pretty much, yeah. There's about 7 goblins that way. They're having a book club meeting, and you're not invited. So, they're not attacking you, but they're looking at it like, could you just right now?
Who are you?
Right.
Yeah, they're pretty I would say not, I want to say easy, but they're even if they're you don't think that well on your feet, if you have if you've made a plan for a week, hey, we're gonna do a one shot, a week's long time to plan one shot. It's not too hard because you just you don't have to put, honestly, you don't have to put as much stuff as people think they do, because even in me, I put I think about a lot of things because I'm well, if they go here or they do this or they do this, a lot of times there'll be something that's this takes a bigger chunk than you expect, and really, as long as you have probably 2 or 3 things that you need to do, that will take up about 3 to 4 hours. So it's not as time consuming and expansive as you have to do for a campaign. I say.
Yeah.
How do you think it would be hard to just completely improv an entire one shot as a DM? Because I feel that would be fun.
I feel like that would be a fun idea. I've I've like I've not attempted to, but I would be down to try that. Like completely just like
Yeah.
everyone at like we come in, we're gonna roll, and then like someone says something, and that's what we're gonna go with.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we are in the center of town getting attacked by the guard.
Right.
Good idea.
Yeah, I think that would actually be a fun concept of completely
Yeah.
improvised D&D. You basically do it the same way as like a live improv show.
Right.
I need a location
And a
and
topic.
occupation
Right.
and
And a fruit.
yeah, like
Right.
you just ask for 3 things at random.
Yeah.
Because yeah, location, occupation, and fruit. That's totally the classic trinity of improv suggestions.
Oh my god. Okay, yeah,
Banana
Caleel,
doctor at a
Banana
fire
doctor.
starters.
I heard banana doctor.
Yep. Banana
Banana
doctor.
doctor.
You specialize in bananas.
At the Met Gala. There you go.
The Met Gala.
You know, if you'd find a banana doctor anywhere, it would be at the Met Gala.
Oh my god. Okay, yeah. Wait, scenario. Okay, you and your prior at the Met Gala. One of you has just had an epileptic seizure. They are let's say it's Chad's character. Chad, you are
Okay.
on the floor just like seizing. You don't know why this is happening. You're very confused because you don't have epilepsy.
Right.
The last thing you remember is taking a drink of like the pink champagne they have at the Met Gala, and then suddenly like all of the neurons in your head were just firing, and then you're on the ground. Caleel, your character is a doctor, so you're down on the floor like attempting to hold Chad's head, like to make him like not bang his skull. You reach into your bag hoping to get like something to help, like you have your med kit on you, but when you open up your med kit, all you see is a banana. Yeah, and we would go on.
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah.
I just accidentally came up with half a plot.
That sounds like a
You
good story
did.
right there. I'm interested in the story already.
I'm hooked.
like,
I mean,
oh,
shit, keep going.
Yeah,
like who poisoned this man?
Tell me a story.
It's the same person who replaced your medical supplies with the
Right.
banana.
I'm like, we've been had. I've gone to the Met Gala and I've been duped.
Who is this trickster that bamboozled us?
Yes.
Oh, you'll find out at the Met Gala. Are you guys here to rob the gala like Ocean's 8, or are you just here as guests?
I don't know. It might have been a robbery gone wrong, and my friend Chad has mistakenly drunken his poison, or the poison he's supposed to give to the security guard, so he can slip in as the security guard. He's drunken it himself.
Oh no, Chad, are you that stupid?
Yes, apparently. I was going to go with this is a heist, and I think I'm not good at heists. I like watching heist things, but I am not really good at going through said heists, so I would be the bumbling thief, like the criminal version of Inspector Clouseau.
Oh no. Poor Chad. Anyway, Chad dies. Sad.
Probably.
Yeah,
but just wait till you get to my third character. That's where the money is.
Yeah. That's the money right there. Completely forgot what my next question was.
Nah, it's fine. You got sidetracked by the banana doctor at the Met.
Banana doctor.
By the banana plot at the Met.
I'm still circling back to that. I'm like, man, where's this going to go?
Yeah.
I would watch this movie.
Oh, maybe. Okay. Okay. So we touched on this. So we discussed how as a player, like a one shot is a good time to try something like a little bit out of the box, or just try out new things that you want to do. So as a DM, is the same thing true? Like, can you do just absolutely wild shit that you don't think you could run an entire campaign on, but you just kind of want to try it out because it sounds fun? Like the Banana Met plot.
Yes.
The Banana Met caper.
Honestly, yes. I mean, if you want to get experimental and weird, the best time to do it is when there are no expectation of how the hell are you going to continue that.
Right.
You know, like you can adapt an episode of Scooby-Doo into Dungeons and Dragons because there's no expectation of what happens next week.
Yeah, and you can try like new I guess styles of DMing, because like sometimes people are like I think people have like their certain styles that they do, and if you're like sometimes you might see something and you're like, I want to kind of do that. You can kind of test that out and be like, if that fits your style, or if you like feel like that's something you could add to your your bag of skills, and then you can kind of kind of be a little bit more of a jerk in one shots.
Just be a complete asshole.
Well, you can, because just like these people aren't like as in like, I don't feel as connected to like these other characters that I've like written stuff for their backstory and like planned out like this is how like they will meet this person or how this will thing affect them, and kind of attached to like this character as like attached to the other person is. So you can kind of be like, well, you fell down a ledge, you're dead. Like, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I as a DM, I never want to actually kill any of the characters in a game because I've already spent time coming up with stuff for them to do and stuff that ties in the backstory and everything. And I really don't want to put that work in a second time. You fuckers are one and done in my games, and that's it. I don't want to write more shit for you, and I'm not going to. In a one shot, however, I can be a sadistic monster and say, I'm sorry, you're boring me. That thing you just stepped on was actually a trapdoor. And oh no, below it is a gelatinous cube. Oh,
bye-bye.
That really sucks.
Thanks for playing.
Yeah. What happens if you like die at the beginning of a one shot? Because I have never made like a backup character for a one shot ever, and I would.
That'd be so hilarious. I'm like, I feel bad, but like that's so funny.
Yeah.
I mean, I would just if it was me, because I haven't had that happen to me either. But I would basically just be like, "Oh, balls," and then just get a piece of paper and some dice, and like, "All right, hang on." And then
okay, give me 10 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah. That'd be crazy. I'd find that pretty funny, but that'd be pretty crazy.
Right.
Like you walk to this next room and Todd just died.
Not Todd.
Yeah, you walk back into the room and Todd has a banana shoved down his throat. He's dead.
Oh no, he strikes again.
It's the banana murder. What's a good name for like a person whose murder weapon's a banana?
The peel peeler.
You're getting somewhere, but you're not quite there yet.
Yeah.
The ripe masher.
Ooh.
That's
That could be good. That could be good.
That has some legs. It can work.
The ripe masher.
The
slip and fall.
That sounds dirty.
A little, yeah. It totally sounds like a sex thing. I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's not a sex thing. You're dirty with gore. There's so much gore.
Yeah.
You slipped and fallen down the stairs. There were spikes at the bottom.
The potassium killer.
Oh no. Okay, amazing. Okay, so for a one shot, do you guys think it should be like more combat based, a bit more role play focused, puzzle based? Should it be a mix of everything? Like, what's the easiest way to get it in the time frame? Because I feel like combat's usually decently easy to.
The easiest way is combat,
yeah. Combat is like easy to sort of like guesstimate how long it'll take.
Because you just throw like 2 to 3 like decent level like challenge fights, maybe a couple archmages or a lich or two at the end, that's an hour or two. That's a 2-hour fight.
Yep.
Already, so you just put some little fluff in, and that's pretty easy. I think I don't know. I think a good one shot has like elements of like a little bit of everything, just a little bit. It doesn't have to like be focused on like that one thing. It'd have an overall theme of like this is a combat theme, one shot, but we'll have like, there might be a puzzle, like one puzzle, because that might take an hour itself, or like there might be a little bit of role play in the beginning. But I think your theme could be necessarily whatever you want it to be. But I would have like just like probably not. You don't have to put all these things into it, but just like a couple of things to sprinkle in there. So it's not like this is just a role play one shot. This is just a combat one shot. This is just a puzzle one shot. Have like a little bit of that, like change it up. Like okay, I didn't expect this to be coming. It's a little different flavor in there, type of thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think what you get kind of depends on the mix of people that are playing. Because there are people who can make combat go incredibly quickly because they have figured out exactly how to break the game and to kill all the monsters with gruesome efficiency. And then there are people who
that's a good team name.
Yeah.
Gruesome efficiency.
Yeah, I may use that for something actually. That is pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Good job, me. But it kind of just depends on the mix of people you have, because if people are super into doing combat, you want to pepper that a bit heavier. And then also if people are just super into, even if it's just for a one shot, just diving into some weird as hell RP, then that as well. So it just, I don't know, you kind of have to. The one shot is where you really have to cater to your audience a little bit more to make sure people are invested in pushing it forward for the 4 to 5 hours it's going to take.
Yeah.
I need people engaged.
Because it sucks to just have that like people that don't do puzzle one shots and they're playing a puzzle one shots.
Yeah.
They're just
we're in this room for a lot longer than
this took us
like
3 hours.
4 more of these, and it's been like an hour. Like okay.
No. Yeah. So, what's everybody's favorite one shot you've either ran or played in?
I've played in a one shot. I like puzzles for lack of my talent for them or not. I like to consider myself as a kind of thinking outside the box a lot.
A logician.
I'm trying to think about how to answer questions in a weird way. So I like puzzles. I might not be as good as them as I think. I enjoy thinking, using my brain of I don't fucking know, why is this thing doing this thing? I don't know, but I want to know how this works, and I'm trying to think about it. So I've played in a one shot where essentially it's it's like a temple to a trickster god essentially, and there's a bunch of rooms that have various puzzles and riddles and traps, but kind of puzzle traps where there's one based on a clock, there's one for night hag, and the night hag's a school teacher. You got to clean up the room in a certain time. There's it's a lot of different rooms that have a weird different puzzles and things that make you think about just riddles and sort of things. I like that. I think that's more of my character pull is more to puzzles and riddles. So
sweet.
I'm trying to think of the best one that I've either been in or ran. I can call this a one shot because it was for a campaign that never got off the ground, but it was essentially stopping a train robbery.
Ooh.
All the characters were on a train trying to get somewhere, and then all of a sudden bandits just start trying to take the train, and their job was to stop said bandits from taking said train, because otherwise more bandits would come and probably murder them.
That's fun. That adds an interesting element to combat.
Yeah, because
I love combat. Oh, sorry.
No, so I say that with that one, time was a kind of a factor of if you do not stop them, there totally will be more bandits. Right. Trust me, there's plenty of them.
Yeah, I was saying I like combats where the solution is just to toss people off of things. I enjoy that a lot.
Yeah, just pull the Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. No ticket.
Yeah. Okay, what time is it? Okay, so we've got 7 minutes left. I actually did have a game prep today for the first time in a while.
Cool.
Yay. Okay, so essentially with a one shot, you can pretty much condense it into a tagline, in my opinion, because that's just a little thing to describe what the one shot is about. So what we're going to do is we are going to go around and word by word make up a tagline for a theoretical one shot.
I like this idea.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I will start, then we'll go to Chad, then we'll go to Caleel. So, adventurers.
Murdering.
Children.
Oh, God.
4.
Fun.
Oh, that got real dark right away.
It did.
Okay, that one's done.
Yeah, I was like,
The only thing you really add there is and profit, but
yeah, I was like and, but I feel like that's a little weak. Just like
no,
and.
okay, we're gonna end right there, guys. That's a wrap on that one. Okay, children.
Starting with the children this time.
Yeah.
Children of
doom.
Children must
stop.
Adventurers.
It's the sequel to the first one. From stealing.
Everything.
I guess. Yeah, I think we're gonna stop at everything.
Yeah.
So
it feels like a good sequel to
Children
the
of
first
Doom.
one.
So the Children of Doom are really the good guys in this one.
Yeah.
Yes.
The adventurers are just like a band of murderous thieves.
Yeah.
I mean, like, that's most adventuring parties, to be honest. Okay. Chad, you start the next one.
Okay. Gruesome. Just I have that in my head now.
Okay. And Caleel.
Party.
Gruesome party. Turns.
Feral.
People.
Gruesome party turns feral people into
accountants.
That.
Kill.
God.
Gruesome party turns feral people into accountants that kill the gods.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, this is a good one. Yeah, Caleel, your turn. Start us off.
We'll go nice. Animals.
Want.
Freedom.
From.
Their.
Oppressive.
Regime.
Of.
Exploitative.
Manipulative.
Farmers.
Who.
Kill.
Keep it back to murder every time.
This is D&D, folks.
Murder sells.
It does.
Kill. Pigs.
Horribly.
And deliciously.
That's 2 words. Horribly and deliciously. Can we do better? Should we keep going with this one?
I don't know. I mean, that's kind of a solid end.
That's a solid end. Okay, cool. Let's see. Sommeliers.
Pretentiously.
Already good.
Walk.
Pretentiously walk.
Or walks. Whichever you prefer.
It's sommeliers, so it's plural. Sommeliers pretentiously walk through
Taverns.
While.
Insulting.
Management.
Management. Management. Because.
They.
Believe.
Them.
2?
Let's see. They believe them to counterfeit.
Oh.
Jobs.
Counterfeit jobs.
They counterfeit jobs.
How do you counterfeit a job?
I mean, I've.
Jobs.
They're counterfeiting jobs.
Maliciously.
That's a solid end.
That's the end. Okay. So these sommeliers go around. They're all bards, obviously. So they go around insulting.
You want pretentious? You get a bard.
Tavern keepers, I guess, who are, I don't know, making up jobs for tax evasion purposes.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. Okay, I'm not sure why the sommeliers are doing this in particular, but
yeah, this is more of a corporate D&D one shot.
Yeah. It feels very Acquisitions Incorporated.
Yeah, more Acquisitions Incorporated. Yeah.
Amazing. Okay, I think we have time for one more. The banana.
There we go.
Ooh, yeah. Okay. Doctor.
Helps.
Authorities.
Apprehend.
Criminals.
Who?
Incompetently.
View.
Incompetently view art. At the Met Gala.
Yeah.
That's got to be the end there. I mean, you drop the Met Gala at the end, like, sorry, I'm not finishing this story for you.
No, that's the whole story, I think.
Yeah.
The heroic banana doctor arrests people for not appreciating art.
He's a deputy. He's a appointed deputy.
See, this would be interesting because with the setup that you gave earlier with Caleel being the banana doctor and me being the bumbling thief, this would be a one-shot where you're literally running half of your party against the other half of your party, working at cross purposes.
That would be fun.
I'm into this idea now.
I'm into this.
What if the one shot was an escape room kind of one shot, but like half the party was, but it was like a cops and robbers.
The banana doctor has to figure out who's poisoning everyone.
Yeah.
Ooh, murder mystery.
I like it.
Okay, that is all our time for tonight. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you to Sunbird and Lady Meows for our theme music and our logo. Thank you to my wonderful guests and to Serenity who's streaming this. Make sure to tune in next week on Tuesday for the next episode of this show and on Friday for the next episode of Roll for Damage. Thank you guys and have a good night.
Good night, everybody. Now I got to plan the banana doctor one shot.